Welcome to this video on the critical differences between immigration court and regular trial court, and why these distinctions are essential for modern attorneys to understand. Immigration court is administrative and civil, places the burden on the applicant, and uses no jury. Trial courts, conversely, are adversarial, criminal, or civil, offer a jury option, and place the burden on the prosecutor or plaintiff. These are two distinct legal systems with different rules and rights. Immigration court is part of the executive branch and offers no right to appointed counsel or a jury. Trial courts are part of the judicial branch and guarantee the right to a jury and Sixth Amendment protections. The institutional authority differs significantly. Immigration court is run by the Executive Office for Immigration Review within the Department of Justice, with administrative judges appointed by the Attorney General. Trial courts are run by the judicial branch, with Article III or elected/appointed judges. A key difference is the lack of a jury in immigration court. The judge acts as the sole decision-maker for everything, including witness credibility and legal relief. Trial courts divide responsibility between the judge managing legal rules and the jury weighing the facts. In immigration court, there is no presumption of innocence. DHS only proves alienage. The respondent must prove eligibility for relief. In a trial court, the standard is innocent until proven guilty, requiring the state to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. A critical gap is the right to counsel. In immigration court, there is no free lawyer. Respondents must hire private counsel or represent themselves, which applies even to children. Trial courts adhere to the standard of providing public defenders to indigent defendants facing loss of liberty. The burden of proof varies greatly. In immigration court, DHS proves alienage, and the respondent must provide clear and convincing evidence. In a trial court, criminal cases require proof beyond a reasonable doubt, while civil cases require a preponderance of evidence. The rules of evidence are looser in immigration court, allowing for hearsay and granting the judge broad discretion to weigh evidence. Trial courts use strict, complex rules of evidence, including exclusionary rules that bar improperly obtained evidence. Immigration court faces a massive backlog, with rapid hearings often lasting only minutes, managed by judges handling high volumes of cases. Trial courts maintain a more deliberate pace, with structured calendars for discovery, motions, and trials, resulting in a lower case volume per judge. While immigration court is civil, its consequences are life-changing, including removal, deep family separation, and potential persecution abroad. Trial court consequences are criminal, involving possible incarceration, or civil, involving monetary damages and legal liabilities. In immigration court, the DHS attorney acts as the prosecutor, enforcing the government's interest in removal. In a trial court, the prosecutor represents the state or the people, while defense counsel ensures constitutional protections and rights. In immigration court, the respondent must often testify to establish eligibility for relief, with the judge focusing on credibility. Conversely, in a trial court, the Fifth Amendment allows defendants to remain silent, and silence cannot be used as an inference of guilt. Credibility is paramount in immigration court, as judges evaluate consistency, demeanor, corroboration, and plausibility. The assessment of credibility is far more subjective than in traditional trial courts. Immigration courts rely on country conditions evidence, such as human rights reports and expert testimony on foreign government actions. Trial courts rarely use this evidence, focusing instead on local facts and domestic statutes. Relief in immigration court is discretionary. Even if eligible, a judge can deny relief based on a weighing of equities, focusing on the respondent's overall character. In trial courts, if statutory elements are met, a mandatory verdict or judgment must follow as a matter of law, with less room for subjective denial. Appeals from immigration court go to the Board of Immigration Appeals, or BIA, which is an administrative review of the record. Trial court appeals go to state or federal appellate courts, which are part of the traditional judicial branch. Immigration court relies heavily on interpreters to ensure due process, often facing cultural barriers that create evidentiary hurdles. In trial court, interpreters are less frequent, as procedures assume a shared linguistic and cultural baseline for most participants. Immigration court deals with trauma-informed testimony, as many respondents are fleeing violence. Trauma can affect memory, appearing as inconsistency. Trial courts generally focus on objective facts over the psychological state of the witness, with trauma playing a peripheral role. Attorneys must understand immigration court because immigration law broadly impacts criminal, family, and employment cases, creating collateral risks for clients. This interdisciplinary field, often called crimmigration, requires specialized expertise for competent advocacy. The modern attorney's responsibility is to understand conviction impacts, master relief mechanics, and provide ethical advising on immigration consequences. Early detection through screening protocols is vital to identify client risks at intake. The critical takeaway is that immigration court is faster, harsher, less protective, and more consequential, with permanent exile as the stakes. Every practitioner must bridge this knowledge gap, because immigration consequences now touch nearly every area of law.